Hi, my dear students. Very good morning to all of you. I am Satish Kumar, your science teacher at Dr. BSM School. So, in the previous videos, we have discussed about classification of substances into acids and bases, isn't it? Classification of substances into acids and bases. What are acids? Acids are the substances that turns blue litmus to red, and the acids are sour to taste, whereas the bases are bitter in taste, soapy to touch, and these are the substances that change. These are the substances that change red litmus to blue. Okay, and we have discussed about so many indicators. Natural indicators we have considered turmeric, beetroot, the oleander leaves, mango leaf, hibiscus petals, and later we discussed about the litmus papers which are prepared from lichens, the litmus solution prepared from lichens. These are formed due to symbiotic nitration between algae and fungi, and these act as a good pollution indicators, and these belong to the plant kingdom Thallophyta. All these things have been discussed in our earlier classes. Okay, now after that we learnt about the litmus papers preparation and how they will be used as an indicator. How both red litmus and blue litmus papers can be used as indicators to test whether a given substance is an acid or a base. A substance is given and we have taken red litmus paper and tested it. If that red litmus turns to blue, then we said that the nature of the substance is basic. We did so many activities to test the nature of the base, substance as a base or acid. Similarly, if you consider blue litmus paper and you have taken a substance and if it is tested with blue litmus, the substance if it turns the given blue litmus to red color, it indicates the acidic nature of the substance. And also we have learned about liquid indicators, the synthetic indicators, that methyl orange and phenolphthalein. The methyl orange shows a red color when it is in acid and shows the yellow color when it is in base. Whereas the phenolphthalein remains colorless in acids and turns to pink when it is treated with bases. Do you remember these things? In this class, we are going to discuss about synthetic preparation of acids and bases, some acids and bases. How we can prepare acid bases in the laboratory part itself. Just we are going to discuss it. And after that, we are having some more interesting topics that are to be discussed or covered in this lesson portion. Okay, my dear students. So, preparation of acids. Preparation of acids. Okay, my dear students. And if you will look about this, and before going to learn about the preparation of acids, just again we'll go through the liquid indicators, methyl orange as well as phenolphthalein. Methyl orange. Yes, methyl orange turns to red color. Red color in which medium? Acidic medium. That means when it treated with an acidic substance, it turns to red color. So I have called it as an acidic medium. Now, it will change to the yellow color when it is in basic medium. That means it treated with a basic substance. Okay, my dear students. So methyl orange, which is generally in orange color, it turns to red color when it is treated with an acid and turns to yellow color when it is treated with a base. So I have written the basic medium. So when consider about phenolphthalein, phenolphthalein will be colorless when it reacts with acid. So you can consider acidic medium. It remains colorless in acidic medium, whereas it turns to pink color. Turns to pink color when it is treated with base or in basic medium. Okay, my dear students. So these two liquid indicators, I said the laboratory indicators very much helpful to test a given substance as an whether it is an acid or a base. And these two indicators are very much helpful for us even for the next part of the lesson portion where we are going to convert an acid into base. Is it possible? Both the properties are different. You can convert an acid substance which is in acidic nature to basic nature. Of course, we'll add some amount of base to it. So those we call it as titrations, and these will be learnt, these topics will be learnt out in the further part of the classes. Okay. Now, so methyl orange, which is generally orange color, it turns to red color when it reacts with an acidic substance, and it turns to the yellow color when it reacts with a basic substance or a substance which is basic in nature. When come to phenolphthalein, phenolphthalein is colorless in nature. It remains colorless when it reacts with any acid substance, and it turns to pink color when it is treated or reacted with any basic substance or substance which is basic in nature. Okay, now in this class portion we are going to discuss about preparation of acids. Preparation of what acids? What are acids? Acids are the substances that turn, yes, that turn blue litmus to red, that turn blue litmus to red, and acids are sour to taste. Acids are sour to taste. Remember all these things. And similarly, you can say when a substance is given to check out whether it is an acid or not, simply we can use litmus paper or methyl orange or phenolphthalein. By using any of these indicators, we can able to test the given substance which is an acid or a base. Now, we are going to learn about the preparation of acids. These acids can be prepared in many ways, but as you are being a student of 7th class, it is enough to learn about very few methods. Just I am going to describe about only 2 methods and how to prepare these acids. Acids are produced or can be prepared from non-metals. Remember this point. Prepared from non-metals. You have learnt in your earlier class about what is meant by a metal and what is meant by a non-metal. A substance which is generally hot and possess the properties malleability, ductility, sonority, okay, I mean with good thermal conductivity, all these properties possessed by a body which is usually hot is generally called as a which substance? Metal, called as a metal. And the substance which do not possess any of these properties just I have discussed now is comes under a non-metal. Examples of metals we can take gold, silver, platinum, copper, iron, tin, manganese, magnesium, sodium, all these comes under metals. Okay, there is a non-metals, wood, clay, plastic, sulfur, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. These are all non-metals because these do not possess the properties as possessed by the metals. Okay, so generally we produce acids by whom? Yes, non-metals. Here I am going to prepare one acid. So how to prepare that acid is very simple. By reacting hydrogen with chlorine, hydrogen with chlorine under an electric spark. You are going to produce an electric spark. Because of that electric spark, some energy will be released. Because of that energy, hydrogen reacts with chlorine and produces hydrogen chloride gas. So, listen here, very simple. Hydrogen reacts with chlorine under an electric spark. For this reaction to takes place, we are using electric spark and produces hydrogen chloride gas. Hydrogen chloride gas. And if this gas is made to dissolve or absorb some amount of water, then it changes into hydrochloric acid. Changes to hydrochloric acid. So very simple, no need of by-hearting and everything. Hydrogen reacts with chlorine. It combines with chlorine under an electric spark. Electric spark will be used to for the reaction to happen, and when this reaction takes place, both these combines and produces hydrogen chloride gas. Okay, and this gas, when it is made to absorb water content, when to dissolve in water, it changes into hydrochloric acid. And if you test this, so if you are going to test this, which type of litmus paper you will consider? Both red and blue. If you consider red, and if you dip it in this solution which you obtained, does we have any change in color? No. And if you consider blue litmus paper and we dip it in it, what happens? Yeah, it changes to a red color. Blue litmus changes to red, indicates the acidic nature of the substance, and it is none other than hydrochloric acid. And some more examples you can consider. Sulfur. Sulfur reacts with oxygen. Sulfur combines with oxygen. Here we call this reaction as combustion reaction. That means burning of sulfur in the presence of oxygen. Burning of sulfur in the presence of oxygen is said to be called as combustion reactions. Burning of substance in the presence of oxygen are treated as combustion reactions, and it produces sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide which is produced from the sulfur and oxygen by their combustion reaction, if it further reacts with some more oxygen, it changes to sulfur trioxide. Tri means 3 and di means 2. The sulfur trioxide, when it is dissolved in water, we use it to get a substance which is having the nature of turning the blue litmus to red, methyl orange color to change into red, phenolphthalein remains colorless, and it is none other than sulfuric acid. None other than sulfuric acid. I said in the earlier classes about sulfuric acid, it is called as the king of chemicals. It's called as the king of chemicals. Very simple, just these two enough. Next we will go to the preparation of bases. Hydrogen, which is a gas, reacts with chlorine, which is a gas, under an electric spark produces hydrogen chloride gas, and when it is dissolved in water, it absorbs the water content. Its hydrogen chloride gas changes to hydrochloric acid. And now next one more example we have discussed about preparation of sulfuric acid, which is known as the king of chemicals. And this, how we can prepare this? Sulfur combines with oxygen. Here we can say combustion reaction. I said sulfur burns in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen to produce sulfur dioxide, and this sulfur dioxide combines with further oxygen. So further combustion takes place and produces sulfur trioxide. And this sulfur trioxide, when it is dissolved in water, produces sulfuric acid. Okay, we can also consider some other by dissolving some oxides in water. See, this is called an oxide. When this is a non-metal, here non-metal reacts with oxygen, we produce a product called non-metallic oxide. This is non-metallic oxide. Non-metallic oxide. It is called as non-metallic oxide. When any substance reacts with oxygen, the product formed is said to be called as oxide. Here I have taken non-metal. So these are called as non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides, when dissolved in water, produces acid. So here I can write non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Okay, my dear students? Oxide is nothing but when a substance reacts with oxygen, the product so obtained is called oxide. Here, hydrogen is a non-metal, sulfur is a non-metal. When non-metals reacts with, here this reacts with chlorine. Here this is a non-metal, but here it reacts with chlorine. So that it is called chloride, you can see at the end. Okay, now here sulfur reacts with oxygen. You obtained, what you obtained here? Sulfur dioxide. So when a non-metal reacts with oxygen, we get non-metallic oxide. You can see here, non-metallic oxide. When these non-metallic oxides, when this non-metallic oxide dissolved in water produces sulfuric oxide. Sulfuric acid here. Here I said this is a non-metallic oxide. I am extremely sorry for that. It is a chloride. Here I am going to consider one more example for oxide where we dissolve it in water produces acid. I can take an example of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide, when dissolved in water, it produces carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. You can see the best example in the manufacturing of sodas. You can see the soda bottle which is filled with water, and into that carbon dioxide gas will be introduced. When it dissolves in water, the liquid so formed is said to be carbonic acid. Okay, my dear students. So you can see here non-metallic oxide. Here also non-metallic oxide. Non-metallic oxides when dissolved in water produces acids. That's why here I have mentioned non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. They are acidic in nature. Note down this. See, in the textbook he has mentioned about only basis preparation, but for having some more better understanding and additional information to you, I have produced about some information about the preparation of acids here. So first I have considered here, see, in order to prepare acids, what do you require? Acids will be prepared from non-metals only. When hydrogen is a non-metal, reacts with chlorine. It is also a non-metal. Hydrogen reacts with chlorine. This reaction then takes place under the action of an electric spark, and you have obtained hydrogen chloride gas. When it is absorbed in water, you obtained a substance which is acidic in nature, and it is named as hydrochloric acid. Now consider the next example, sulfur. Sulfur reacts with oxygen, or sulfur burns in the presence of oxygen. Here I can use a symbol here, delta. Delta indicates heat. That means by supplying some amount of heat energy, burning takes place here, combustion reaction. Sulfur burns in the presence of oxygen, produces sulfur dioxide, which undergoes further oxidation or combustion, I can say, produces sulfur trioxide. When it dissolves in water, it produces a substance called sulfuric acid solution. Also, you can say sulfuric acid. Okay, my dear students. Next, I have taken one more example. Non-metallic oxide. Carbon is a non-metal. When it reacts with oxygen, carbon burns in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, which is an example for greenhouse gas. When this carbon dioxide dissolves in water, produces carbonic acid. So this is all the things. These are all the things that we have learnt about the preparation of acids. Now, shall we move for preparation of bases? Yes. A simple we are going to consider about bases. So non-metallic oxides are dash in nature. Yes, acidic in nature. And this non-metallic oxides dissolves in water, produces acids. Okay, now when it comes to bases, like acids, these bases were produced from metals. Acids we can prepare from non-metals. Base we can prepare from metals. Same combustion reactions here. So production of or preparation of bases. Okay. Now consider a metal magnesium, a piece of magnesium ribbon. Metal possesses the property of malleability and ductility. Malleability is nothing but if you consider a substance and if you beat hard, if you beat the substance hardly, instead of breaking or shattered into pieces, it stretches into sheet, a thin sheet like structure, which is said to be called malleability. Ductility means it is a property of material that it can be drawn into thin wire or rods. Like in say copper wire. It's a metal, it's a hard substance, it can be drawn into thin wires. In the preparation of jewelry items, you can see the gold. Okay, it can be drawn into thin wires, you can observe. So ductility property. So magnesium, take a piece of magnesium ribbon and burn it in the presence of oxygen. So this also is a combustion reaction. Magnesium reacts with oxygen, produces magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. This magnesium oxide is dissolved in some amount of water. When it is dissolved in some amount of water, we will obtain a substance, or will obtain the resultant substance obtained is magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. If you test this magnesium hydroxide with red litmus, if we touch this solution so obtained, it is soapy to touch, which indicates the nature of a base, one of the characteristic property of a base. So this magnesium hydroxide is a base. Magnesium hydroxide is a base. Similarly, by treating sodium with oxygen, we will obtain sodium oxide. This sodium oxide dissolves in water, produces sodium hydroxide. Sodium oxide. See, sodium is a metal, sir. It is highly reactive. The sodium, when reacts with water, it reacts vigorously and produces large quantity of heat. Sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals. That's why they are generally stored in kerosene. Even they react with atmospheric oxygen and changes their nature, or changes their state even. they undergo the chemical reactions. So these are highly reactive, and this potassium and sodium, both these are stored in kerosene. Okay, my dear students, it doesn't react with kerosene, that's why they are stored in kerosene. Sodium is a metal which reacts with oxygen, produces sodium oxide, that is metallic oxide. Remember this word. In previous part, we have discussed in the preparation of acids, we have considered non-metallic oxide. Now we are considering metallic oxides. Okay, these metallic oxides, here when dissolved in water, here again we are going to produce a substance called sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. Do you remember about the sodium hydroxide we have learnt about in our earlier classes? I have called this as caustic soda. Sodium hydroxide is called as caustic soda. The sodium hydroxide, when it is treated with the red litmus paper, it turns the color to blue, which indicates the basic nature of the substance. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Okay, my dear students. So by treating the metals with oxygen, we obtained metallic oxides. So, and when these dissolved in water, what we are getting? Bases. That's why metallic oxides are basic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Non-metallic oxides produce acids when they dissolve in water. Metallic oxides produce bases when they dissolve in water. Okay, my dear students. So in this class part we have discussed. So before give the conclusion part for the class, just you note down your running notes part. After your writing portion complete, I will give the conclusion. So here magnesium and sodium both are metals. When these react with oxides, they produce metallic oxides, and these oxides when react with water produces bases. That's why I have written there, metallic oxides are basic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Okay. So in this class part we have discussed about the synthetic preparation of acids and bases in the laboratory part. Okay. So with respect to acids and bases, here acids are prepared from non-metallic oxides. When they dissolve in water produces acids, whereas metallic oxides when dissolve in water produces bases. Okay, so in the next classes, further classes, we are going to discuss about some more interesting topics from this lesson portion. The one such interesting topic is, among them is acid rain. Acid rain, generally you heard rain many a times and you have witnessed it. But what is meant by an acid rain? This acid is going to be come from the sky. Clouds are going to produce acid. What is the meaning of the acid rain? All these things will be learnt in your further videos. Okay, my dear students. Till then, bye. Have a nice day. Thank you.